What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode. I'm SwipaCam. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the new setup. Hope y'all like it. You know, this is how we're going to be rocking for here on out, at least for the foreseeable future. Let me know what you think about the backdrop. We're trying to make some improvements as we're going. Finally got settled in. Finally got moved in. The Denver Nuggets drop an absolute stinker. Nobody shows up but a couple of players. They play against the Toronto Raptors, get mollywopped 127 to 115. And outside of Nikola Jokic, outside of Monte Morris, I can't really point to a good Nugget tonight. They absolutely got out-rebounded, out-hustled, out-willed, out-hearted by the Toronto Raptors. Pascal Siakam at 33, 5, and 7 on 12 of 22. Scotty Barnes at 25, 8, and 10 on 11 and 20. And then Chris Boucher, 21, 13 on 8 of 15 off the bench. The Toronto Raptors had like 23 offensive rebounds as well, 24 offensive rebounds. They just out-hustled. They came with a point to prove on a back-to-back against the Suns and the Nuggets and won both games. It was a terrible performance. It was one of the worst performances of the season. Nikola Jokic had 26, 10, and 7. 26, 10, and 7 on 10 of 13. 7 of 13 shooting tonight. 9 of 13 shooting. 26, 10, and 7 on 9 of 13 shooting and 8 of 9 from the free throw line with 0 shots in the fourth quarter. 0 shots in the fourth quarter. He didn't get an opportunity to shoot. He didn't get the passes in order to shoot. Nothing. Mike Singer tonight, Toronto had 64 points in the paint, 31 points off turnovers, 30 second chance points, and 23 offensive rebounds. The Denver Nuggets have lost 2 straight to the Warriors and now to the Raptors. And they have the 76ers coming up on Monday. We'll see what they do. They're 2 games ahead with the Timberwolves for the 7th seed. I'm not as concerned about that. They got a rough part of their schedule coming up here soon. But we'll see what's going to happen, man. This is the thing. Aaron Gordon was out tonight. Of course, I get it. It caused a lot of defensive issues for the Nuggets because they had no one to deal with Pascal or Scotty. But this is where we are, man. They won all those games in a row. They won, 10 of 11 games. Now they've dropped 2 games. Now, the ratio of that is great. It's not bad at all. Essentially, you're 10 and 13. You're 10 you're 10 and 3 your last 13 games. But the problem is, man, when you get opportunities to close out games, they're up 8. Then the bench just absolutely didn't show up today. Forbes, Boogie, Bones was great tonight. So really there were 3 great Nuggets. It was Bones, Jokic, and it was Monte Morris. Bones Highlands tonight off the bench had 17 points, 3 rebounds, and 7 assists on 6 of 12 shooting and 5 of 7 from 3. But they had no one else to come to the party today, man. So it's unfortunate. You wanted a better game from everybody. Everybody had a better opportunity, man. Will Barton had a terrible fourth quarter. Really, the Nuggets had a terrible fourth quarter. They didn't give the ball to their MVP. Michael Malone waited until 6 minutes basically to bring him in. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because he played 4 games in 5 nights. And again, managing those minutes, he only played 31 minutes tonight. Maybe because they have the 76ers coming up on Monday. I don't know what it was, but he didn't play at all. He played barely any minutes tonight in the second half. Didn't finish the game either because he took him out about 2 minutes left or so. So it was just a weird game. Yoke could have done a lot more. I mean, he had opportunities to do more in the first half. They were zoning him and triple teaming him and boxing him out. He was getting fouled a lot. They just stopped. They got up 8 in the second half and they just stopped playing after that. Literally just everything fell apart. And it was very annoying to watch. And I know y'all are annoyed about the game too. So it wasn't pretty, man. It's just those games you got to win, man. If you're up 8, you got to close those games out. And tonight they just had an opportunity to do so, and they didn't. Now, Will Barton had 16, 5, and 4, 7 of 13. But that second half, that last 12 minutes in the fourth quarter, the last few that he played were just really bad. Not great decision-making, not great shot. I mean, they were getting down to the end of the shot clock. They just acted like they couldn't beat the zone. And I'm sitting here like, bruh. And what they were doing, the Raptors were, so instead of falling off the pick and roll, when Yoke comes and pick and roll and just letting him pick and pop, Nick Nurse, what he did was he had them literally, so when they ran the pick and roll with Yoke, the person that Yoke was picking would just literally just grab him and roll downhill with him. And so what it did was it prevented a traditional switch. So what they did was they fronted him. So I don't know if y'all remember James Harden a few years ago when he played against the Utah Jazz and Ricky Rubio, they were literally playing defense behind him and giving him a free run to the basket. It was the oddest thing in the world, but they were trying to prevent him from shooting all these shots and then running this pick and roll game and all this other stuff. So tonight, the Raptors, Nick Nurse told them, we're going to play a pick and roll defense that's very different. What we're going to do is we're going to literally roll whoever he's picking. You're going to grab hold essentially, and you're just going to stay on his backside. That way he can't do a pick and pop, and he has to roll to the basket. And what you're doing is you're going to eliminate the ability for him to hit that little pick and pop, that little mid-range shot. He didn't get any of those in the second half, really. And again, the Nuggets did a terrible job of getting him the ball. So it was a great coaching adjustment by Nick Nurse because Jokic was eating them alive in the first half. And then eventually he just said, man, you're not going to do it. So he played well in the third quarter, but again, Coach Malone has this thing where he is going to play his rotation the way he feels best. And tonight, it was not, unless you're managing his minutes, it doesn't make sense outside of that. Because at this point in time, you don't have the ability to coast through games, to coast through victories. So that means more than likely, Michael Malone tonight said that this is the best way we can win this game by having Jokic only come in 6.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So it didn't work. It didn't work at all. It was terrible. When they were up 8, when they were down, and this is the thing. Coach Malone called a timeout where the Nuggets were up 2 and kept Boogie in the game. And then it fell apart even more. And Boogie didn't have a good night tonight. Rare bad Boogie game, 7-5-1. But that first half was decent. The second half was terrible. And he was 1-6 from the field. They were up 8, and then they were up 2. Jokic should have been back in the game when they called the timeout and they're going up 2. He doesn't have to play till Monday. He's 27 years old. He can get it done. But it is what it is, man. They lost. Moving on. We have the Philadelphia 76ers. Finally, matchup of the year. Matchup of the year between Nikola Jokic, MVP, prospective MVP again this season against Joel Embiid. One of the 3 to 2 MVP candidates this season. So, hey, man, we'll have a show. Hey, y'all, Swipin gang, hit the subscribe button. Let's grow the community. Let me know in the comment section what you think about the new layout. Hey, man, we're going to keep blowing it up, doing it big, y'all. Hey, I'm going to see y'all soon.